Welcome to the second module of the Introduction to Microbiology and Forensic Science course. In the previous module, you learned all about bacterial cellular structure. Now, let's get a closer look at the viruses. In the past decade, we hear a lot about influenza virus, swine flu, birds flu. And if the reporter has done extra research, he would use terms like H1N1 virus or the Spanish epidemic. Don't all this information get you to wonder, what are viruses? Are they microorganisms? Are they infectious agents? How do they differ? Can a virus that infects humans infect birds or vice versa? In the present module, you will be introduced to the virus structure and their nature. How to grow the viruses in the laboratory is very important. Detecting their growth is an evidence for the multiplication of the virus in the sample. The different types of genetic material is also going to be studied. One of the most important steps for the virus to infect a host cell is to attach to it. And this also is going to be studied in details. Is there a link between viruses and cancer? This is another point that we're going to learn in this module. When you hear microbiology, we always think of cellular microorganisms like bacteria and fungi. However, it also studies the acellular infectious agents like viruses and prions. Acellular infectious agents are agents without cell. Viruses are simply DNA and proteins, yet they are the major causes of diseases in humans, animals, and plants. Virion is a complete virus particle. It consists of one or more DNA or RNA molecules enclosed by a protein coat. So just to emphasize, because this is a very important point, it has either DNA or RNA, not like our body cells that have DNA and RNA. Viruses, they can't multiplicate outside a host cell. They need their host cell to produce their particles for them. Viruses can exist either extracellular or intracellular. When extracellular, they are inactive, because remember we said that viruses cannot multiply outside their host cell. When intracellular, they exist mainly as a replicating genetic material. They take over the cell, they control it, they induce the cell to produce its own components, from which virion particles will be produced, and eventually the viruses will be released from the host cell. Viruses can infect all cell types. Yes, as you heard it, it's not limited to humans. Most are eukaryotic viruses. These are viruses that infect humans, plants, animals, and fungi. But they also can infect bacteria. Yes, indeed, there are certain viruses that infect bacteria. These viruses are called bacteriophage, or to simplify it, they are called phage. To summarize, in this topic you learned that viruses are simple acellular agents, that is, they are without cell. Second, you learned that the genetic material of the virus, either DNA or RNA, and you learned very important point that viruses cannot reproduce independent from their host cell. Okay, now you learned all about the amazing properties of viruses. Let's move to learn about their structure.